What's up everybody, welcome back to another video here on my channel. In today's video I'm going to be going over a company known as Palantir Technologies, ticker symbol PLTR. And for those of you who don't know, they are a big tech software solutions type company. They do have tons of deals with the government, and these new partnerships, these new deals are coming out basically what seems like every single week. If we take a look at some of the recent news, you can see titled by this article here on MarketBeat, and this was published yesterday. It's titled, "It's Time to Catch Palantir Stock." I'm going to briefly read over this first paragraph, and this paragraph kind of parallels what I think about Palantir and why I think it's such a great buy at this current price point. You can see enterprise and government data analytics service provider Palantir Technologies stock has fallen nearly 20% in 2022 alone, and the growth stock has fallen more than 60% from its peak price of $45 at the beginning of 2021. While shares are much cheaper, they aren't exactly at bargain levels yet. The company has zero debt and a fortress of a balance sheet, and they are a pioneer in big data analytics and the utilization of AI to create solutions and bolster effectivity and outcome for enterprises. They have been around for 18 years, guys. They are a longer term type company. The CEO, Alexander Karp, I'm going to go ahead and pull him up right here. He is actually a, if we pull this up right here, he is the former CEO of PayPal. You can see this is what this guy looks like right here. Pretty well-educated, well-experienced man who I do think is very well capable of turning Palantir into a widely successful company. Like I said, previous CEO of PayPal, and he has said in earnings reports and calls to investors that this is a long-term investment, that if you're looking for quick gains, quick kind of day trade-like moves, that Palantir isn't the stock or the company for you. But if you do hold for the long term, you will be rewarded, because I do think that Palantir will be one of the next big tech giants in the next few months, in the next few years. If we take a look at some of the most recent news, this came out a few weeks ago, but Palantir did announce that they are expanding into South Korea with a partnership through Hyundai Heavy Industries Group, and Palantir will build a big data platform joint venture with Hyundai Heavy Industries Group, and this partnership does diversify Palantir's revenue stream and was initially viewed positively by the market, but we can see, as indicated by this chart, they have been in a pretty consistent and severe downtrend alongside the rest of the market. This, in my opinion, guys, isn't really anything, this sell-off, I should say, isn't really anything to do with just Palantir. The entire market as a whole has been retreating lately, as I'm sure you guys have seen, and Palantir is no exception, being kind of this high growth stock, this high potential long-term stock. Those kind of stocks and that industry as a whole has been getting hammered, and like I said, Palantir is no exception, currently down to $12.28. The all-time low, if I zoom out a little bit further, is going to be down here at $8.90, and they did IPO back here not too long ago. I think it was September of 2020 at $10 per share. They dipped down to $8.90. They made that run all the way up here to this all-time high of $45 per share. And then ever since then, kind of a slow, steady pullback down to these current levels. But this is a price point that we haven't seen since basically a few weeks after, or a few months, I should say, their initial IPO. That's why I believe this is a hell of a bargain right here, and I am a buyer at these prices. And one more thing before we get back into the charts, I do want to mention and take a quick look over here on Fintel to take a look at Palantir's recent 3F filings with in terms of institutional ownership. You can see the greens are buys, the whites are no change, and the reds are recent sells. So this is kind of a mix. If we scroll through here, you can see I'd like to think there is a little bit more of buys than sells as of late. As you can see, this huge chunk of just straight green. If we scroll down a little bit further, you can see some red, some green, some red. So not really any clear or dominant buying or selling. I would, like I said, give it over to the buyers compared to the sellers, especially considering the price point that Palantir is at currently. If you are going to be a buyer of Palantir, guys, like I said, I think $12.28, this current price, is a pretty good entry point. I wouldn't be looking to kind of buy the absolute bottom. You're never really going to be able to catch that absolute bottom. I'd be fine buying here. I'd be looking for a first price target move back up to $19 per share, this previous level that has acted as a strong support and resistance level in the past. You can see where my cursor is at. That is the line. That's my first price target in terms of where I think Palantir will go. After that, I do think they could retrace back up to about $23.35. That's price target number 2. And then my bullish, or ultra bullish, longer term price target on them is a retest of $29.60, or about $30. And then in the long term, I do think they are a $50, $60, $70 stock. I think time will tell. I think over time, more investors will pour in. They will continue to have growth in revenues in quarter over quarter basis. They'll continue to get bigger partnerships. I do think they are a great company to invest in for the long run. And if we take a quick look at these indicators, you can see this RSI indicator is indicating that they are currently oversold. It's sitting at about 16.02. You can see this RSI indicator does go from 70 to 30. Anything at 30 and under is considered oversold. So sitting at 16, you can see they are severely oversold at the moment. If we take a look at this MACD indicator, kind of the same thing. No real momentum. It's waiting for a shift in the momentum back up to the buyers when we do get that bounce back up. And I do think we will get that bounce back as soon as next week. But with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, please do subscribe to my channel. And like I said, I will see you all in the next one.